In today's Speedy Summer Crafts, I'm going to take my new Cricut mats, add some scrap vinyl to create these custom Cricut mat protectors. Let's make this! The inspiration for this project is to stop that horrible sound that you get when you put your clear plastic cover over your Cricut mat on the wrong way. I didn't realise when I first started buying Cricut mats and playing around with Cricut that you needed to put it back on a particular way, and then one day I read that you're supposed to put it on a particular way, and I still don't know which way it is. This project needs hardly any material. So I've got a standard grip mat. I've got my pack of varied colours from HTV Ront that I got from Amazon, and I've got my packet of adhesive vinyl scraps. Also, I've got a packet of brand new, never touched before standard grip mats that we're going to decorate the cover for. We're starting today's project in Google Images. I'm looking for a comic speech bubble. I'm going to put one in the corner of each of the mats. So I want something that's got something that will stand out. And I really like this comic pop art bubbly kind of thing that is going on because it just makes it stand out. So I've just found kind of the first one or the second one I looked at. I'm just going to save that as a PNG image. You go back to my witchy cupcake toppers. It goes into a bit more detail about how to download images from Google Images to use in our projects. Then we're going to go back into Design Space, and I'm just going to upload the comic bubble. So I just click on upload and then click on continue. Now I'm going to get rid of, it's got a transparent background already, but you can see there when I click on it that it just has a full inside. So I want it to be able to stand out a little bit more. So I've just gotten rid of a few components of it. Those little black smiley faces don't really work. So I'm just going to get rid of the curves that are along the bottom. And then I click on apply and continue. Just click single layer. And then it is a matter of going in and creating my text. I'm going to use Kamika Access for this side and then the luckiest guy for the word up. Now I used Wordmark to go through and work out what texts or what fonts I wanted to use. And if you wanted to find out how to use that a little bit more, go back to a couple of weeks ago where I created the label for my bottle of wine for New Year's Eve. It goes through what Wordmark is and how to use it. Then I'm just creating an offset around this side and around the word up. And then I'm going to subtract those two offsets from the comic bubble. So all I need to do is hold down my shift key, select both the offsets. So I've changed them to red just so that I know which ones I'm clicking on. And then I'm going to unite them. And then I'm going to click on the shift key, click on the unite and the comic bubble, and then I'm going to combine and subtract. Now you can see that the text is inside the speech bubble, and we've also got an outline around the edge of the speech bubble. So it just makes it stand out a little bit better so that we can see it and we don't have to put our text straight onto our speech bubble. And then I'm going to duplicate this because I've got 3 mats. So I'm just going to duplicate the whole thing 3 times. And then I'm going to go to make. When I get to make, I am going to put the 3 speech bubbles on one mat, and then I'm going to put this side and the ups on another mat, just because I'm using one big sheet of yellow vinyl for the comic bubbles. So I just want to be able to cut them all out of one. I'm not using scrap vinyl for that. And then the scrap vinyl is for this side and the up. So then I can manipulate it a little bit to fit on my mat properly. And then when I go to the cut, I am just doing a vinyl cut. I'm not doing anything fancy like metallic or anything like that. I'm just going to use a regular vinyl cut. You can see that I've only weeded the internal components of the comic bubble. The reason I've done that is because on the outside of it is a whole heap of different circles, and even when I cut, some of those circles shifted. It's because they're little and they're tricky, and I'm going to, if I just pulled all of that off, I'd lift a lot of those circles. So what I'm going to do is use the reverse weeding method, and if you want to know how to do that in a little bit more detail, go back and check out my plant marker tutorial. It goes into great detail about how to use the reverse weed and why we use it. But with this project, you can see that when I lift it off the transfer tape, that most of those circles stay. Some of them don't, and I just think for this project, it doesn't cause me too much drama. If you were being really pedantic, you could go in and kind of try and make it a little bit more precise. But the idea is there, the concept's there, and that's all I'm really worried about. So I'm going to do all of those. So when I go to put it on my standard grip mat cover, I'm going to just put a little bit of rubbing alcohol down first, just to get rid of any fingerprints or any grease marks or any dust or anything that might be there. And then it's just a matter of placing it down onto the mat. I did struggle a little bit as I was lifting, because what happens is the mat cover comes with your transfer tape. So it took a little bit longer than I thought it would, but because the design took no time at all, it actually was worth spending a little bit more time to make sure that those circles stay down, or all of those little bits. But yeah, that's just a little trick, maybe, is to make sure that you hold that cover down a little bit better onto the grip mat. So, and then from there, it's just a matter of then layering the text down as well. So it should say this side up after I've got my comic bubble. These colour choices with the bright green and the orange and the black and the yellow, I think it's really pops. I'm really happy with these. How great are they? They stand out. The colour choice is fantastic. And look, so fast to design, relatively quick to place onto the grip mat. I'm never going to forget which way to put these covers on ever again. So it's a very good summer Cricut organising activity if you're looking for something to do. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget, you can always jump on my Instagram, head over to my Etsy store, or even check out the videos YouTube recommends for you down below.